What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RBL Weekly. It is week 10 of the 2025 Roast Battle League season, sponsored exclusively by Neft Vodka. We are in, as Brian Moses would say, new studio.
New studio!
There he is, the creator and host of the Roast Battle, Brian Moses. I'm the Roast Battle League Commissioner, Pat Barker, joined this week by a very special guest, at least for the first little bit of the show. He's got to get back across the pond, and his Uber is en route. Mm-hmm. It'll be here in a little bit. But we wanted to have him in on the podcast for the beginning. Last year's Roast Battle League MVP, the superstar of the main room, Jack Trainer.
Thank you, man. This is crazy. I can't believe the new studio's in Glasgow. What? This is crazy having you guys fly. Surely this will eat a lot of the Patreon money flying out every week, though. That
it doesn't seem sustainable.
No. But we'll have fun while we're here.
But yeah, they don't have ferns like this and books like this in America. This is some Glasgow shit for sure.
Definitely don't have books in America. That's one thing that I've learned from gigging out here.
So you just spent a week here.
Yeah.
You went up in the main room against the LA champion Tom Goss. Mm-hmm. Convincing win, dare I say, on a night where there were a lot of split decisions. I think that was unanimous, not to take anything away from Tom.
Spoiler.
I know. He was great,
but he was great. But you were kind of next level. Everything translated well to the American audience. Yeah. Tell us about the experience. What was it like?
I probably won't set in until I go home. But I just got the photos sent over as well when we were driving over here, and I was kind of looking at them just going, what the fuck, man? It was the main room as well. Like, I've only been doing this 3 years, so it doesn't make any sense. Like, I was talking to people that have been doing comedy for like decades in this city, being like, I done 3 minutes in there in like 2004, and I've not, and like, I'm just getting to walk up to a roast battle. Like, you're all there as well. It was insane. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'll watch the footage back and be like, I still don't believe that actually happened.
Yeah.
And then the fact they'd go out and get the win as well, like, it was one of those ones I was like, that 13-hour flight was long. I need to make this worth it.
Yeah.
I think although Tom had a drive from Orange County, which is still long, I think that's what made me more determined to win it, because he was still great. There's a reason he's the champ, but I will be now calling myself the de facto LA champ.
Come on.
Just to ruffle some feathers, man. So someone needs to fly out to Scotland to come get the invisible fake belt that's definitely real.
Well, we talked about this last night. We got to hang out briefly. If you are the de facto LA champ, if you're the true LA champ, I am the true Tokyo and Barcelona champ.
Yeah.
And, somebody's got to come take those belts off of me, because I haven't lost to anybody since I won those. Yep. Gets a little complicated, but if you want to claim that, I will not stop you.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely just to as a bit of kayfabe sort of wrestling, I think I'll be leaning into that. I mean, I've just broke already, so Tom Goss, I'm the real champ.
You and Cullen, they both killed it. What did you see? I mean, you were right there.
Yeah, they ripped it. It was, I've never seen, just to, spoiler alert, I'll tell you about the episode here. We've been doing this 12 years, and Tony Hinchcliffe has been, kind of doing his about 6 months before we started doing our thing. And he's been involved in all of it. We were, I think, his first TV appearance on Comedy Central, when that was on, Roast Battle was on Comedy Central. And I've never seen Tony look at me the way he did. Usually he's like, found a new group of writers, right? And then he hires those guys. With these guys, he knows he can't hire them outright. Maybe you guys can do some remote work, but he had that look in his eye where he's like, I've never heard these kind of jokes before.
Yeah.
This is going to get me over the finish line for the next roast. So when he looked at me like that, and then he said, audibly, during when he was judging, he said, this is the best roast battle I've ever seen. This is the best roast battle show I've ever seen. And that was huge, I thought. And that was probably my same reaction was, these guys are going so hard. And I said, I think on a couple weeks ago's episode that Cullen writes the best dark jokes in the league. Mm-hmm. This guy, he was MVP last year. He might be the best performer outside of Shalaka. I mean, they just always put up a performance that's always fun. Big target because he's tiny and not even real, probably. He's got that voice, which doesn't make sense. He sounds like one of the Beatles that's been killed. There's just so much about Jack that's fun. And when you hang out with him, you just want to root for him. So for them to put up that kind of performance, for the accents that Jack can get off,
oh my God.
With how bad his English is.
Yeah. No spoilers, but if you guys saw the World Championship where he did the Native Americans joke, mm-hmm. which was like next level, he's got some more tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I had to one up it, and I think I managed to.
Yeah.
So fuck knows what I'll need to do next time, maybe.
Yeah, not just once, but twice.
I know.
Your opener and your closer. I can't wait for people to see the battle.
Yeah. Here's the spoiler. It's like you don't speak American English well, but you speak African American English well.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to get me cancelled back home.
Well, it was one of the best nights of battles we've ever had. Thank you to all the battlers who made it that way. Man, everybody came in and did their thing and killed it, and it was great. And just great battles top to bottom. Now let's get to this week of the RBL season, which I haven't seen most of these battles. I was working all weekend on another thing, and I didn't have a chance to watch and rank. But based on the feedback I've gotten, maybe not as strong as the main room show.
So those are the rumours, but we'll be the judge of that.
That's exactly right.
I like how I've been brought in as a sort of like battling ram. Just for like, let's inject some Scottish negativity into this.
Well, you know what? If the battle is not entertaining, we will just ask you to, recite poetry or something. I feel like we could ask him to do pretty much anything and it would be entertaining.
Do it as Nate Welch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick a card, any card player.
Amazing. Fucking incredible. All right, well, let's jump into it. And one really interesting storyline from this week is I send out the battles in the morning, and people get their ballots back to me within 24 hours. And when I went to bed on Friday night or Saturday night, I had a list of where everything was. We were 5 ballots in. We were exactly the halfway point. When I woke up Sunday morning, a lot had changed. This number 7 city, when I went to bed, they were number 2. When I woke up, the last 5 ballots did not look as favorably upon this battle. It fell all the way to number 7. So I'm excited to see what I and you guys think of it. This is the international leader. This is the team that is kicking the shit out of Scotland in the International West. Talking about Barcelona. They pick up 1 more point this week with this battle. It is Porter Grubs versus Alice Russo. Here it is.
Let's hear it for Alice if Wonderland were a major depressive episode. Alice is from Australia, a country full of poisonous creatures with really highly concentrated venoms. I'm just saying that nobody alive has seen Alice squirt.
Jesus.
It's a roast?
This is Porter Grubs, a.k.a. a Shetland pony disguised as a man. All I can say about Porter is they look like they met Michael Jackson as a child.
Off to Never Never Land, you know. Dream is a wish your heart makes, guys. Give it up for the manipulative girlfriend in every true crime documentary. She's been dating lately, but she's not on the app. She prefers writing love letters to inmates on death row. Yeah, she likes her man no strings attached except for the noose around his neck.
Porter is a gay, non-binary person from Alabama. In their hometown, they're famous for being the first DEI hire on the cotton plantation.
All right. Coming from someone who thought the song Back to Black was about interracial dating. So cheers to whoever animated you. Really brilliant depiction of someone who planned their own teen pregnancy. She's like not sure about kids, but she likes the idea because she wants to have them around to say, "Shh, mommy's on the phone." But anyways, we should get this over with because she's got to get back to shattering dinner plates against the wall in a blind maternal rage.
Yeah, I don't know. You look like you could carry a child to term. I just... Porter looks like the receptionist at Grindr.
Short and sweet, to the point.
coming from someone who described themselves as tragically beautiful on their MySpace profile. Alice looks just like she sounds, and she's and she sounds like Eeyore the donkey after 10 long years of sex work.
I don't know, man. You just look like a horse. Porter is a writer. I'm just kidding. No one from Alabama can write. Porter prefers to use crayons to compose pictures to send to Joe Exotic's prison cell.
I can rock. Sorry, oh, it's okay. No worries. It's okay. That's a point for me, by the way. No.
Wow.
Alice worked in forensics, where she learned how to catch a predator just by sniffing between his legs. It totally ruined cum for her, though. Like, never turn a hobby into a career. Now she's doing sex work, so she really came full circle.
And that's a point for me. Porter's really into mindfulness and meditation, and they promote this in the queer community. For example, they only sniff sustainably sourced poppers.
Brilliant.
And they're always the one that says to their friends, "Don't worry, HIV is just a mindset."
That's kind of your thing.
That's a 5 joke.
All right.
I haven't cornered the market on HIV or the jokes.
Yeah, I mean, you're very outspoken about how you think it is not a big deal.
Right. You live in West Hollywood long enough, you kind of understand it's not.
Okay. All right. So it's not apples to apples, but you guys are kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
All right. So that was.
Gosh, I'm glad we done the AIDS isn't real stuff when I was on the podcast.
Yeah, Jack. Thoughts? That was a number 7 battle. I'll say this: if you're doing one of those blind ranking things that you see on Instagram or whatever, that would have been. I'd have put that in 7 instead of 2. I'm surprised that was in 2 when I went to bed. It wasn't bad by any means. There were some solid jokes in there, but based on where we're usually at, 7 feels like a pretty solid place. One of the beautiful things about this setup here is we have cameras on everybody, and then I could see the monitors on everybody. So while I was watching the battles, right next to it, I could see how much Jack was not enjoying it.
I think that's just because I look Scottish. I did actually enjoy that battle. I enjoyed how fun Porter made it.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't taking it too seriously. However, I would have preferred it if he went for the Shetland pony impression a bit more. Like, he sort of just gave it a little shimmy. I would have wanted them all fours, just neighing and shit on the stage. That's my only,
He got into it when she was like, you could, or they got into it when she was like, you could bring a child to term.
Yeah.
And then Porter did a big act out, and that's when I noticed the shorts. Very, very impressive legs on Porter.
Absolutely.
I think Porter went for a thing that, we talk about it, getting to the essence of someone and creating a character based on what you see in that person. I'm not sure it totally connected about throwing dishes at the wall and being like a mom who doesn't even really want, you want kids so you can not like having kids.
An abusive mom, right?
Yeah. That didn't totally connect for me, but Porter had a couple other big ones. Alice, I thought, was probably a little bit more consistent. I thought it was solid.
Yeah, it was a professional roast battle. There were setups and punches on both sides. Not a lot of big performance. There was silliness on both. It just felt like a really cunty roast battle. I can see on paper these two being like, oh, you see these guys if you ever been at the club and these guys are always talking shit. You can see why they were pit against each other because they're like cunty girls.
Yeah.
Both of them, this did feel like, this is the reference, but it did feel like the LGBTQIA version of Jay and Silent Bob, and they're finally getting to talk shit to each other. You know what I mean? Because now one's a them and one's a lesbian, and they can just go forever, and that's what it kind of felt like. There was punches here and there. They were trying to keep it as roast battle and professional as possible, but it just felt like, bitch, what? Bitch, your shoes. You're just like a mom who doesn't fucking feed her kids and doesn't want her kids, and it's just a lot of snapping.
Yeah, I can see that. So Barcelona picks up a point. Would be a great week for Scotland to make up some ground. We'll see whether or not that happens. But what's going on this year, Jack?
I just think because there's only the population of Scotland is 8 people. And it's like me, Kyle Samuel, Kate Hammer. Like we've kind of run out. Like that's why I'm sort of on the road more. And I think we're about to see the battle up next. Like I've been going to Manchester a lot more just to freshen up, just to keep it more exciting for myself. Hopefully, I know like more people get into it through seeing me being over here and going, he's shit, and they're taking him to Los Angeles. Let's fucking I better get into this.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will inspire some more folk to get into it. But I think, honestly, just because we had such a big season last season, it was always going to be hard to keep up. But I think we're only, after that battle, 3 points off the wild card with Tokyo.
Yeah, you're still in the wild card. And, I mean, look, long season.
Barcelona's running away with it. They've got some dirt on the 2 years or something like that. They've got some indecent images. They've like a hard drive or something.
How come there aren't more, Scottish comics or, borderline Ireland comics like coming over to battle in Scotland? Like, what's going on out there? Do people not want a roast battle?
Honestly, don't know. Because like taking the piss, as we'd say, is like part of the culture and things like that. So on paper, like roast battles should be selling out every week. I honestly don't have the answer for that. I'm enjoying doing my thing. Ryan Cullen's killing it as well. Hopefully that will get more people involved.
Well, listen, I mean, I hope you guys figure it out. It's crazy to have, it feels like the Angels when they had Trout and Ohtani and could not have a winning season. Because it's like you guys have arguably 2 of the best battlers to ever do this. Yeah. And just haven't been able to kind of put it together around there.
We're still at the start, though. We're still a lot of season to play.
There's still a lot of season, and, you're going to get some points for those main room battles for sure. But if you want to win, there's got to be more Scotland versus Scotland battles in Scotland. That's where you get the majority of the points. But Barcelona picks up 1 this week, and we're going to keep it moving right now and go to the number 6 battle. And this one, when I went to bed, was I believe number 3. And it fell to 6. Another international battle. The back half of the voting did not favor the international battlers. This is a title match from Manchester, featuring a couple guys I know you've battled at least one of them. This is a title match between Charlie Ashton and Jordan Ducharme. Here it is.
Hey now, how are we, everybody? Nice. You want to start or me, buddy?
You do it.
Make a choice, little guy. All right. This is Charlie Ashton, everyone. Give it up for him. Come on. Reigning champ. Tough to roast, because Charlie's a great guy with a fledgling comedy career, great attitude. Just imagine how good he'll be doing once he hits puberty. Yeah. Jokes aside, Charlie looks like one of my cum socks came to life. Yeah. You might remember him from stabbing that poor girl in adolescence.
I don't think that kid did it. That's my thing. I didn't watch past the first 10 minutes. But, I think if I were to get drunk one day, fall in the canal, and I was dredged up 3 weeks later, and you saw my cold, bloated corpse on the side of the canal, on the side of the path, I think you'd look at it and you go, Jordan looks well.
Charlie here has made a spreadsheet of all the reasons women won't fuck him. He really excels at being an incel. He hates women for the same reason he hates roller coasters, the height requirements.
Standing on the tiptoes.
Are you done?
Yeah. Thought that was obvious.
Lazy. This is what happens when you fertilize a human egg cell with a West Coast IPA. Jordan got circumcised recently. And in other news, they don't sell Parmesan in the shops anymore.
It's a coincidence. All right, keep it going for Elliot Page, everybody.
That's brilliant.
Seriously, though, Charlie here looks like he's transitioning into a house elf. J.K. Rowling's fucking fuming. No, Charlie is a straight white male, so the only way he's getting booked on TV is if Philip Schofield starts booking Naked Attraction.
Jordan dresses like that autistic kid at school that would pull his pants all the way down to wee. It's true. No, Jordan normally Jordan is wearing Velcro shoes. Is that true?
That's not true.
That is true. Jordan wears Velcro shoes, which is sort of paedophiles, like, you know, wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh my God.
Hey, look, we've got the same shoes. Oh, I've got a present for you. Just put your hand in my pocket. But not tonight. No, Jordan's not wearing the Velcros tonight. No, he's cracked out the laces, yeah? Because tonight's a big night. And you can't strangle a prostitute with Velcro.
Excellent.
A lot of people think that, but... You know, I was surprised Charlie made it here tonight. I thought he died with his friend after they shot up Columbine. No, it is nice you could take time off from tying down Gulliver to be here tonight. Charlie used to work in an office as a paperweight. And finally, Charlie's dad abandoned his family to move to Rush Home, which is really funny, because whenever you lived with Charlie, he would never rush home.
Get good curries around his house these days. Jordan looks like he smells bad, and he smells like he looks bad.
It's too good, man.
Shut up!
Clap. Jordan's nickname at school was Douche. His second name, Ducharme, but that's not why. They called him Douche because if you gave him a can of strong lager, he'd lick the shit out of your asshole.
It's common where I'm from. No, so Charlie Ashton told me he thinks Lucy Letby is innocent. True.
It is true. Look into it.
I suppose because she spared your fetus-looking ass? No. Seriously, though, Charlie also thinks it's okay to hit kids because it's the closest thing you can find to a fair fight. That's me, everyone.
Jordan's actually a model for the warning photos on tobacco. He's that guy in the picture that's passing the baby a cigarette, you know? He's like, look, have a cigarette. We've got the same shoes. Jordan's girlfriend does pole dancing as a hobby. Not professionally, obviously. Look at him. But the only reason they went home together is because he thought she was a giant rotisserie chicken. That's me. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, there it is. The number 6 battle of the week, Manchester, Charlie Ashton, Jordan Ducharme, title match. And for more on this battle, I turn to our UK correspondent, Jack Traynor. Jack?
Thank you. I was actually there in attendance that evening, so witnessed this battle in the flesh.
Oh, that's right.
It's like I'm interested to see what the next 5 battles are because I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe. I've seen both of them, and I've seen both of them like do better jokes in other battles. But in terms of like entertainment, they were both having fun. You could tell they enjoyed it, even when they were being like sort of bitchy with one another. I know they two guys like are good friends and got on really well. But I'm going to make an argument that Charlie Ashton started doing comedy in Glasgow, so technically points for Edinburgh there.
Our first battle was Australia versus Alabama. We cannot get into that. I cannot possibly deal with all that red tape bullshit.
Birther. What is that, your Obama? He's Scottish.
Yeah.
We're claiming him. No, I thought the two guys, I thought it was incredible. Charlie Ashton, his way that he just walks you around his own little worlds of roasts and like builds it up and stuff like that. And then the call back to the Velcro shoes stuff. If you point out a guy a grown man wears Velcro shoes to a room full of people, like that's devastating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a reason he's the champ down there. Jordan's excellent. Gave him a good go. But Charlie's unbelievable, man.
There's 2 reasons he's the champ. One is because they robbed you when you should have taken away. You should be the LA and Manchester champ simultaneously.
3 belt holders.
That's what the streets are saying.
That is what the streets are saying. For more on the streets, we go to our streets correspondent, Brian Moses.
Oh, let's gonna give it to our producer there. Yeah, that was honestly. Yeah, I was going into this because you hadn't seen the battles and I hadn't seen the battle, so I was like, okay, well, I wonder how this is going to be. And there was some inside information about this week, and you know what? I don't believe it anymore.
Yeah,
I think these aren't bad.
No, the Barcelona I get in the 7 spot. It's a perfectly acceptable 7 battle. This one, to do the blind ranking thing, because it was 3 when I went to bed, it was 6 when I woke. I'd have this one in 3. Like if I was just blind, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it just looked like 2 dudes who knew what they were doing. Almost not sparring. I know you're saying there's probably better jokes from both of them, but I mean, it was the placement they put their jokes. Charlie was just kind of putting his joke writing on display, doing the whole callback thing. I mean, he just kind of does, if I can go, football terms, like soccer, he's just kind of playing with his opponent, and then he's just kind of bicycle kicking when he wants to. You just kind of saw what he just has skills. He's a hell of a joke writer. He can perform real well. He can get as silly as you want to. He can go clever as you want to. He can flip things. You guys just do joke writing well over there because you guys do so many of them. Jesus, you guys gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
Especially in one round, it's fucking gnarly. But yeah, that was he was on full display. Jordan, I liked him in the beginning being like a bully, and then Charlie halfway in kind of being the bully, like, oh, is that all you got? Oh, that's lazy.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of Jordan's like off the top ad libs were really good too. The banter was really good.
Yeah.
And the way that Charlie sets things up, like he did the Velcro shoes right after the autistic kid peeing with his pants all the way down. So he connected it. So you think the Velcro shoes is going to be a like special needs kid thing, and then it's like it kind of is, but it's more he's doing it so he can pick up the special needs kids, and like I thought it was really funny and well done how he structured everything.
Yeah, the guy's really smart, man. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got some Ajota bones to him. I feel like if he goes a little darker, he can go like Dark Anakin real quick.
Yeah. Also, the Columbine reference might have been lost on that crowd, but I saw your reaction.
You know what I like.
There
was a couple in there. That adolescence one is good. I think there's also another layer with the adolescence because they had because it's a TV show. It's like a UK it's a UK show that's real popular that they're gonna start putting in schools, I guess. That's how popular it is.
Yeah, they're basically like, what if they done a show about school shootings in the UK and they just used knives? That's basically the whole gist of the show.
Okay.
I've not actually seen it. I've just gathered that's the gist of the show from people complaining about the show.
Jesus.
Yes, and there's also a stabbing recently with these 2 kids out there. I think, was it in Leeds or where was it? In Liverpool?
Southport.
Yeah, 14-year-old kid like stabbed another kid in the not like ours, Carmelo Anthony and the kid he stabbed. Yeah. This is like 2 English kids.
All right, no, I'm mixing that up with something else. There's multiple stabbings.
You guys got to get guns. You won't have to deal with all this stabbing nonsense.
Tell them, Pat.
Got to upgrade. What are you doing out there? All right. Well, Jack has another maybe like 20 minutes or so. So let's try to get 2 more battles in if we can. And let's try to, run through them real quick here. It's the number 5 battle this week. This one comes to us from Austin, Texas, 3rd in the American West Division. This is the RBL Weekly debut for both Freddie Dulles and Q Rose. Here it is.
Freddie Dulles, man, you are built like a pee-wee fucking football coach.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, nah, you don't never do less at the buffet line, nigga.
Q Rose looked like he escaped poverty and then found his way back. Big facts. Hey, come into the light, guys, please. Step into the light.
Nah. They're going to have Carlton energy again. You see that? Nah. You, Freddie Dulles, you look like if fucking Carlton was really like, if Uncle Phil was really your dad, not Carlton for real.
Thank you. Right. It's ironic your name is Q, and earlier you tried to sell me an 8-ball.
Your head's an 8-ball, nigga. Yeah, it's much uglier. All right. You're really ugly, man. It's just weird. He's an undercover nerd, if y'all don't know. He loves Pokemon, which makes sense because his body's like fucking Snorlax and his head's like Squirtle.
The nastiest part about Q's dreads is the thing it's attached to.
You lost all your hair when you was 12, nigga. You look like an old man since middle school. I actually played basketball with Freddie Dulles, which is, but he's a weird built guy. He looks like if Charles Barkley fucked Gnarls Barkley.
Okay.
Thank you, LGBTQ. No, Q loves sports. His favorite sport is beating his wife. He calls it soccer. Alright, final joke.
Yeah, at least, you're terrible. I actually saw him. I seen him outside, he was trying to talk to a white girl, but she actually went to me. She said she wanted somebody 3/5 his size.
Ooh. You got 3/5 to laugh, so I'll tell you that. Q's nose moonlights as a police dog. It looks like he sniffs women's chairs to let them know their period's coming. Oh. 4 days.
That's funny, he came with a Buddha shirt. That's the only nigga head that's the same size as yours.
All right, guys, get up for Freddie and Q.
All right, number 5 this week, Q Rose versus Freddie Dulles. Excuse me for mispronouncing that. For more on this battle, we go to our black correspondent, Jack Trainer.
So initially when the battle came on there, it was like 2 guys were standing like almost off stage, and I was like,
from opposite ends of the crowd.
I was like, oh no!
Yeah.
And then, but as soon as they got going, as soon as they started taking pops at one another, I was like, right, it makes sense. I thought Freddie was better, just slightly tipped it. But I like how Q pulled off sometimes in a roast battle when people are just like blunt. Sometimes it just doesn't work because it comes across as being uncreative when they're just like, no, this guy's just bald. Yeah. But he made it work because he threw it in with actually some like well-written pieces as well. But I would just give it to Freddie. I thought he was better. However, controversial, I think Manchester was better.
I agree with that, and I think that the
fucking nationalist over here.
I knew that was coming.
I mean, he's right.
Right.
But, we've talked a lot, and there are, different developments coming to Austin that are very exciting that we'll, I'm sure we'll get into at some point. I know Jack has to get to the airport, so we'll put it off for right now. But, these battles were done on 4 hours notice. Right?
Oh, right. Hats off to the guys in 4 hours notice. Well done.
This week
that
and last week, the battles that we had were basically the battlers found out 4 hours before the show they had to battle.
Talking about Austin?
Yeah.
Well done. That's not something easy to do. Fair play to the guys. That's why it's up there. Then.
I mean, to be fair, they are black battlers, so they probably they probably only did it within like 30 minutes. And they would have done that. It doesn't matter what the time slot was or the deadline was.
I'm glad you said it. Yeah.
I think I had to.
Yeah.
There was a lot in that battle, I think, that was very... as millennial black guys, we don't want to fall into the stereotypes, but I think we do things just genetically and hereditarily that it's cultural. Like standing out of camera and not near each other because that's gay. And black guys don't fuck with that gay shit, so they're clearly on the opposite side because if there's too close, like, this nigga gay, look how close you're standing to me. You know what I mean? So there's that. Every time Freddie said something, it was I like Q Q didn't have any really good written stuff, which is fine for the most part because there's a style. I think he's just waiting to get hit. A lot of hockey players say this. It's like, oh, we don't really know what's a game until we get hit first. And I feel like Q has to get hit first for him to like really be like ignited or activated. And I feel like Freddie came with like better written jokes, like Jack is saying, and then Q was just there to respond. It didn't matter what Freddie was going to say. It was, this nigga ugly. Look at him writing over there. Look at him writing jokes and trying to tell jokes about me. Ugly ass nigga over here. I mean, it was like a well-articulated, stereotypical black roast battle. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like old school cafeteria if these guys were both in prep schools.
I love how like you're like they stood so far apart away because standing close together is gay. It reminded me of like when you're learning how to drive and they're like you have to leave 6 car lengths between you and the next car. It's like you have to leave 4 white judges between you and the next black man. Otherwise, you're gay.
Now you know black math.
It was very entertaining. Very entertaining. And for all of the hype, I think the ranking committee might have been in a mood this week.
That was a little bit of a DEI slip. I mean, it was almost like, we can't put the foreigners before we put,
Yeah. There might be some of that.
You really put the black guys behind all the white foreigners? Like, come on, at least.
Oh no, Manchester's England. I'm glad they never got their points there. I'm supporting Austin there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're an all. We gotta get you down there. My goal is to make sure you can conquer every city in the league. That's what I want to see out of you.
I love that's a video game now.
Yeah.
You did San Diego, did the G League, scored like 58 points.
La Jolla Jackson.
Bro, it was crazy.
You said La Jolla Jackson?
Yeah, that's what I was calling myself after doing the La Jolla gig.
That's incredible. I love you're the best. Let's get another battle in before you got to go. And this is a city that we have not seen a lot of this season. Only their 3rd appearance in the first 10 weeks. Talking about Atlanta.
What?
But Atlanta. Listen, they had a number 2 battle earlier. They got a number 4 this time. They are they're hitting. They're fighting. They're staying alive. And this one is the number 4 battle this week. It is, I believe, the RBL Weekly debut for both Holly Ballantine and Alex Libby. Here it is.
Holly Ballantine versus Alex Libby. Let's roast.
Alex is best known for being the comic who sent me death threats last week. Not actually, but her comedy is a threat to my life because it makes me want to unalive myself.
First of all, Holly, it's so good to see you. It's just finally, the manager I've been asking for.
That's good.
Thanks, that was my best joke. Okay. Fun fact, Holly was actually named after Buddy Holly. So every year, for her birthday, her friends and I get together and we all refer to it as the day that comedy died. Told you.
Thank you, Alex, with a Y, as in why are you still doing comedy? Thank you. Y'all, no, seriously, Alex is so welcoming to the comedy scene. I mean, every time somebody starts comedy, she is the first person to book them on her bed. Like they ask women to choose between a man or a bear. They ask young boys to choose between a priest or Alex Libby.
I retired from that. I'm engaged now. He's still younger. Anyways, no, Holly is happy to be here tonight because her kids aren't. And so Holly actually doesn't have a day job. She told me that. But her kids are homeschooled, which means her kids won't have a job either.
That's so funny because my homeschooled teenage son wanted to come tonight, but I was afraid Alex might try to fuck him.
I sent you that death threat. I have your address.
Alex makes a lot of jokes about looking like Casey Anthony, and I mean, that's crazy. We know you're not Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony is fertile. Alex reminds me more of Casey's daughter, because she's dead inside.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Thank you, Dolly Farton. Holly is actually famous. Her boobs were the inspiration for the original Got Milk campaign. Yeah, her boobs used to be insured, but now insure is just what comes out of them.
That's so funny. Yeah, comics know I have big boobs because it's obvious. Comics know Alex has big boobs because she's shown them to all of them. No, Alex has dated a lot of comics, like a lot of comics. And I know you can't get autism from a vaccine, but her dating history makes me think it can be sexually transmitted.
I'm just the carrier. I only have ADHD. Thank you, Holly Joel Osment. Holly, the only gift she ever gives her neighbors is putting an upside down pineapple on her front porch. And the way that they respond is by putting up for sale signs on her front porch.
All right, last jokes.
Thank you, Clarissa explains it almost. I didn't know if y'all were going to be old enough to get that joke. Thank you. No, seriously, Alex, I have to be honest. I don't understand why you're roasting me when you should be thanking me, because asking you to do this roast is the only way you can get booked at this club. Seriously, no. To be fair, Alex's biggest contribution to comedy is selling comics for Adderall prescription.
See me after the show. Okay.
Merch is merch.
Thank you, HOA manager of an RV park. Holly actually has another guy's name tattooed on her lower back. It's Go Brandon. It's the only way her husband can come.
Give it up for that round.
Right. Number 4.
Old political joke at the end.
Atlanta, yeah. Worked in a Let's Go Brandon reference. I guess that has more of a shelf life than I realized.
Yeah.
I thought this battle had pretty good moments. I thought it was pretty good, man. Like, the ranking committee is spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
The first 9 weeks have been so good. It's like, where were you guys season 1?
Thank you.
Season 1. This is the best week of the year.
Where your ass was at?
Yeah, right.
You weren't with Pat shooting in the gym.
Exactly.
They get that reference. I know only Jack does.
It wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Nah.
No?
Okay, that's just a Drake and Rick Ross line. No big deal. Yeah.
It was about Kobe.
And that's the guy that made the beef, wasn't it?
I'm sorry?
Kobe beef.
That's the guy. Anyway, what'd you think about the battle, Jack?
That's so bad. It was good. Again, initially with the first roast, I was like, oh, why is this here? And then is it Katie? I think that was her name, Katie.
Holly and Alex.
Alex, sorry, no idea where I pulled that from. Alex with there's the manager I've been looking to see.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. Set the whole roast up. I think they had good responses to one another's as well. I liked how it had, it's a bit of a roller coaster. They seemed like friends and then enemies, and then it got quite catty and political at the end as well. Like it sort of had everything, but again, Manchester, I don't know what they've done.
Oh!
I agree with him.
I don't know.
He's not wrong.
Out of the 4 I've seen so far, I have Manchester at the top.
I think it's got to be something to do with them just not like missing some of the references, like the Rush Home ones. Like that's a place in Manchester.
Yeah.
And then Rush Home and stuff like that. Maybe I really don't know what's going on here because that's.
I mean, look.
It's honestly, I mean, like that could be number 1. Honestly, like that Manchester one. It's honestly even a dark horse battle of the year because there's some jokes in there that are really good.
No, it's not. It's not that.
It's not that good. It's
100%.
It's the battle of this week so far. There's no doubt about it. But it's not a Joda versus Wicks or it
was
like
pretty good.
Nessa versus Colin. It was good.
Good.
It was good. Here's what I'll say. Like as somebody who has to rank these pretty much every week, you watch 14 battles, and like it's hard to keep your attention for all of them. And comparing the battle that you watch second to the battle you watch 12th, is really hard unless you want to go back and spend more time rewatching and breaking them down. So sometimes, because I'll put them in an order where I'll come in here and be like confidently like, this battle's number 7, but you're gonna love it. I had this 2, and then I watch it. I'm like, oh no, that was 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's almost like it's going in societal order, it feels like in America. It's like, you know, LGBTQIA foreigners. Then it was 2 white guys, foreigners, European, right? Then it was 2 black guys, American. Now it's 2 white women, straight, married, right? Or one's engaged and one's married with kids. Both have kids. And now I feel like this top 3 is going to be all white dudes from America.
Christian guys just jerking out.
I feel like I'm kind of nailing it. Yeah.
I'm looking ahead and I'm like, yeah. I mean, you know.
And then we'll get to some classic, you know, American white male versus his wife or the neighbor or whoever he's fucking, you know.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's definitely some sort of implicit bias against references you don't understand, which is why
it's going to happen.
It's the main reason we expanded the ranking committee this year. And I told every city, if you want to give somebody who has a couple hours every Saturday to watch battles, I gave the opportunity for every city to have somebody on the committee. The idea is it would balance out.
Yeah.
And for anybody who fucking thinks that black guys are ahead of white women when we're talking about society here, just look at the DEI stats. White women got hired more, so it's white guys on the companies, and then it's their sisters, wives, whatever else, grandmas, that kind of a thing. And then it's black guys, because you don't want to, you know, you don't want to compete against a black guy. They got fat, twitch, muscle. That's how Jimmy the Greek got canceled by talking about this. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, they weren't ready for the truth back then. A lot has changed, Moses, if you want to educate these people.
Just trying to make this a sports podcast by getting some defunct material out there about sports.
I used to love that Burr bit when he's like, you could see a guy getting canceled in real time, and then like the other guys are just slowly fading out of the frame. Yeah, I mean, all right. So we agree that it wasn't as good as Manchester, but that doesn't make it a bad battle. I thought it was one of the better Atlanta ones that I've seen. I thought it was vicious in parts. I thought there were some really well written, funny jokes. I enjoyed it. I think I might have seen Holly before. I think it's definitely my first time seeing Alex, and I thought they both had funny shit. I can't even call who won that battle.
I would say Alex just tipped it. But we'll end up seeing those guys again. That was great.
Yeah.
Alex started well by setting up the battle with the manager I'm finally waiting to see, but Holly just kept pummeling her because she was so mean. That really felt like Mean Girls moms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it was like a musical. It was Holly was so mean. That was like, okay, this is probably why it's up so high on the chart, because this is an example of like when you're mean, but it's also funny.
Yeah. Well, you know, either way, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Maybe next time, just like a little more variety in the jokes. That would be my only critique. I think we hit the slut thing really hard with Alex. And then when she goes, yeah, I'm engaged, it loses like a little bit to keep being like, she's fucking everybody. She might be. I don't know. The ring.
It was kind of funny when she did say like, I didn't want to bring my son around because I thought Alex was gonna fuck her.
Yeah. But it was also funny when Alex was like, I'm engaged. I'm retired. So I thought, I thought some of the banter, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, worthy of the number 4 spot. Do you have time to hang around and at least start this battle?
We can do it. Yeah,
we're waiting on your guy.
No,
right?
we've got another one in there. All right,
we've got a little bit of time. So this is the number 3 battle this week, and I was surprised because I see these 2 names on paper, and I'm like, this has got to be number 1. And then the feedback I was getting was some people didn't have it ranked at all, which really surprised me. So I'm excited and curious to see what happened here. These are 2 household names from Chicago. The former, I believe, the first season Chicago MVP. If she wasn't, she was top 2. Katie Kincaid going up against a guy who has been taking the league by storm this year, AJ Leidig. Here it is.
2, 3, Rose! Hey, everybody, this is Katie Kincaid, the final boss of dog fuckers. Yeah, I'll go with that as number 1. That's fine.
I mean, I can't take that from a guy with resting Macklemore face. I can't do that. No, honestly, the hardest thing about this battle isn't the roast battle. It's the fact that I have to interact with a grown adult man with the first name AJ. Yeah, when AJ told me he liked mommy milkers, I didn't realize it was because he was still breastfeeding.
Can't take that from the lady that bought her strap-on at Home Depot. Katie.
I like it tough.
Yo, Katie looks like trans Tarzan.
And AJ looks like trans Jane.
Katie calls her labia the Jungle Book.
Oh man, actually, I'm really glad AJ decided to do this battle with us. Usually he's too busy rubbing pictures of Cybertrucks to get hard. Come on, Joe's just putting him to work. What can I say?
Katie's bisexual. Woohoo. I feel like you kiss your friends in the bathroom and then force them to arm wrestle.
Oh man, AJ, if you're here, who's at the sexual harassment training asking clarifying questions? Doesn't AJ look like before he eats pussy, he asks what the macros are?
Katie looks like she gives the clit a noogie.
AJ just looks like he daps it up.
Katie, you look like a Pride Month ad for Kohl's.
Oh man, actually, so you can, obviously we know you can get your weed at dispensaries in Chicago, but AJ likes to say that he gets his weed from the streets. Yeah, I think it's because it's the only time a cool black guy will talk to him.
Cool black guys love Katie. Katie performs comedy like she's giving a painfully single maid of honor speech. There's no punchline for that. It's just mean. It's just a mean thing I wrote about my friend. Isn't that fun?
Well, I have one too. AJ was actually an athlete growing up. Actually, his nickname on his swim team was the same as his favorite rapper, Little Dicky.
Katie's the only lesbian that scissors with her arms. Katie's got big softball energy. I feel like you finger women with a wind-up.
I'm gay. AJ lives in a house with all guys, and they talk about splitting the rent. They're talking about his ass cheeks. No, actually, even if I win this battle, AJ is still going to try to explain it to me afterwards.
Last joke. Okay, Jack. The most obvious thing about Katie is that her dad wanted a boy. And then he saw Katie and was like, it's close enough.
Right, go back to haunting a beer pong table where you belong. Actually, AJ is the demon that you see in the mirror when you chant, "Shut the fuck up, Mom," 3 times.
All right, give it up for them, everyone.
Well, you called it, all white dudes from here on out. Number 3, Katie Kincaid, AJ Leidig. Is it just their resumes, their pedigrees, and what we've seen from them that leads me to believe that was underwhelming, or was it legitimately just not connecting?
Again, it felt like 2 professionals just kind of sparring, and we had to watch it. It's almost like when the UFC does that, where it's like, all right, let's get some names, that way we can fill the seats, but it's on 3 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's almost like everybody's not going super hard, but they're giving us professional jokes of like, okay, that's a roast battle.
Yeah, and AJ's been battling a lot this year. Katie has been much more sparing the last, calendar year. Maybe like different types of like rust versus not, worn down a little bit. I don't know. It just kind of felt like, there were some decent things in there, but
some
like
big pops.
Yeah, and a lot of AJ's big pops were kind of the same thing. It's like, okay, pussy plus manly thing equals you're a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like strap-ons from Home Depot, give the clit a noogie, the fingering with a wind-up, which is incredible.
Right.
That's the kind of thing where I think if he's on his game, he goes, hey, fingering with the wind-up is the funniest one. We can ditch the other 2 and come up with like different jokes.
And I'm learning that just as like as a guy who's observing all these joke writers, it's like there is now a formula. It's almost like it is becoming a game now of, okay, if they're gonna like this cartoonish shit, let's go as cartoonish as possible. Let's almost make like a caricature, right?
Yeah.
Let's make the head bigger, let's make the nose bigger. Like you're all right, she's a softball player, cool, that's a lesbian thing. She fingers girls, cool, that's a lesbian thing. The wind up, that is such a big cartoonish thing you can see, and it's visual and it's fun. It's like it's silly. Those are the bigger punches, I feel like, with those audiences. And maybe some of the more clever stuff wasn't working with that audience because they wanted the big, call her gay, but do it in a way we like.
And this is maybe one of the pioneers of that style.
Yeah.
The cartoonish kind of thing, all the way back to the Battle of the Year last year. Shalaka the dick and the pussy. You know what I mean? The Native Americans joke against Nate Welch. Big time cartoonish over the top delivery that the crowd never sees coming, and you punch them in the fucking mouth with it. You kind of created that style a little bit. What did you think of this?
like there was good, like you said, there was some good pops in there, but there was just we had to sit through some to get there. It was decent. Number 3.
I know Manchester. I know.
No, not just saying that, but like, if we are going off the numbers, it was good. Enjoyed the both of them. I've seen both of these guys before. I think they're great. The softball one, like you said, phenomenal. So again, but some of the reference maybe lost on me a wee bit. But I thought it was great. I enjoyed the both of them. I know we'll see them about. Keep saying AJ.
Yeah. I mean, that's the cool thing about being like one of the best battlers. Like even your off night is better than a lot of people's on night. You know what I mean?
She calls her labia the Jungle Book. That one, I mean, that probably didn't get what it deserved, but I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go there, that's not bad because like it's a lesbian joke. It's a fun cartoonish joke about like a classic we all love. And
True.
Now I got to think about that every time I think about Katie Kincaid.
Yeah, you don't have to.
No, but I will, AJ, for you.
Well, mission accomplished then. He lost the battle, but he has won the war. Because he has changed the way Brian Moses will look at Katie Kincaid forever.
And those are the bare necessities, Pat.
Oh, nicely done. Keep it moving right now to the number 2 battle of the week. And this is the only one that I have seen, and this is one that I saw because it was in the belly room. This is LA picking up 6 points this week. Season 1 world champion Ryan Nesson trying at this point, and kind of failing to find his footing ever since losing the world championship. After his battle with Ryan Cullen, I would say he's all the way back.
Oh, big time.
This might have been the last one of what will be known as the dark era of Ryan Nesson. This is him going up against the rising star that is Audrey Hebert. It's number 2 this week. Here it is.
Audrey Hebert, 8-2. Ryan Nesson, 28-12. Let's roll!
Yeah, Ryan is Jewish and severely depressed. In case you were wondering why the weather's been so cloudy.
It's true, I am Jewish, but you look like every woman on a couponing show. So I'm glad Audrey could make it out here tonight. I know she'd rather be at home reading a unicorn erotica. Audrey is Scottish, you can tell because she's built like a bag of pipes. Yeah. How's your whole body shaped like a cankle? That's too much. You're gonna hate the next one.
Yeah, that's true. I could lose a few pounds. I'm gonna try the diet his grandparents were on. Yeah, Ryan actually used to be a nightclub promoter. His job was to bring girls into the club. They hired him because of all his experience picking up dimes.
Silly. I like it.
All right, yeah. Guys, let's keep it going for Margarine Taylor Greene. Believe it or not, Audrey was prom queen. Happiest night of her life, until it ended with her covered in blood. To be fair, it was her fault. She forgot to wear a tampon.
Yeah, let's keep it going for Scrotum Sandler. Ryan has to take medication to make himself fall asleep every night. And he was actually nice enough to share it with all the women in the audience.
You get a pill. You could just listen to you talk for 5 minutes and probably go right to bed, Audrey.
Better than Xanax.
Oh, okay. Audrey teaches English to special ed kids, which explains why they all talk like that. Yeah. Doesn't Audrey sound like the voice of a cartoon belly button?
It's true, I'm training my army. Keep it going for the guy who finally found common ground with Kanye yesterday.
Cousins. It was the Cousins thing.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
He did what with his cousin? Let's hear him out.
That's good. Doesn't Audrey look like someone that just waved at a friend then realized it wasn't them?
That's awesome.
Audrey gives angry redhead, which is what she calls biting during a blowjob. But to be fair, she thinks there's glue in there. So.
I mean, it looks kind of like glue. Taste isn't far off. Why not? Yeah, Ryan.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
No, speaking of fathers, Ryan actually got a DUI right after his dad died of cancer. Yeah, the cops were like, wow, you must have 5 gay dads, because you keep using that excuse.
Yeah. My dad had stomach cancer, so did Audrey's mom. Then she named it Audrey, so... Yeah. This is true, guys. Audrey has failed her driving test 4 times because she keeps forgetting to signal. It's crazy. I swear, if your head wasn't attached to your shoulders, you'd be a lot hotter.
The number 2 battle this week, Audrey Hebert versus Ryan Ness. And Audrey ended up winning the battle in overtime. The overtime not included there. I think that I'm watching that battle and I'm wondering, we're all definitively saying like Ryan Nesson's back because of what he did against Ryan Cullen.
Yeah.
I need to see one more battle. I got to see him against somebody who's not doing the Scottish style. Because it's like, yeah, he had a great one against Ryan Cullen, but the issue that he's had recently and definitely in this battle is editing. Every one of those turns he could have gotten out halfway through, and I think he would have won the battle by a mile. But he just stuck around and kept doing more jokes and diminishing returns every single time. I thought he had the bigger pops, but I thought he ended kind of flat, like literally every time. And that's how she ended up winning. As one of the judges, that was like my rationale. And I feel kind of the same way watching it back now. I might give it to him based on the rewatch.
Yeah.
Because I thought he did have more big moments, but man, I don't know. You just hit a home run. Get out of the batter's box.
I see what you mean with him, sort of like maybe overcooking a couple, 1 or 2 of them. But I think he's a victim of his own success. You're always expecting like Battle of the Night sort of stuff when he's on.
Sure.
So like when he's maybe only at 70%, you're like, oh, what? He's washed up now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But after like, I know what you mean. Like, but after seeing him at the main room against Cullen, and then watching that, I was just like, oh, like it's unfair to compare the two. Like it was just to
compare this battle to that battle.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, it was
absolutely.
All I've got in my head is that battle. So even watching it, I was just like, oh, but he then goes on to do the Comedy Store one. I would have liked to have seen the overtime to see how they gave it. But I'm easy. Number 2, easy. I'm not screaming about Manchester on that one. I thought the guys were good.
Okay, good. So you agree? Because this one was when I went to bed. LA and Chicago were 6 and 7. When I woke up, they were 2 and 3. So everybody was kind of all over the place, but you're okay with that at 2?
Yeah. I would put that 2.
Okay.
Over Manchester.
Oh no, I'd put Manchester number 1.
Okay. Manchester number 1.
Still got one more to go, but let's get Moses.
That was. I honestly, I'll disagree because I think that that's Cullen's get back a little bit. That's kind of like his like waiting to excel, or how Stella got his groove back. I feel like that's the battle. I'm like, oh, he's coming back. It was a little bit of DeHerm, but that was like okay because he's leaning into like who he used to be, getting into the references, kind of overplaying his hand a little bit. But when I saw him against Cullen, you guys will see it soon. That's what he's preparing for. I feel like that Audrey battle is what he's preparing for, to kind of like to over edit a little bit, to overcook a little bit. That way he knows he's getting his full clip out, you know. And I feel like that's what I kind of saw with that. It was kind of playing down to your competition a little bit, but Audrey is kind of an ascending star, so maybe he wasn't prepared so much for it. But some of those jokes were real clever that I'm going to remember. And then now seeing that Cullen battle, seeing it after that, I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense because he was definitely training for a marathon in jokes with Ryan Cullen. Yeah. And I can see now why he was doing that.
That's an interesting perspective. I'm curious to see what happens in his next one. Because his next one will be in LA. It'll be versus an LA person. I forget which one. I know he has Jay Light coming up. He's got a couple others where, it's probably going to be a little bit more traditional. And I want to see how he kind of adapts to that.
And to be fearless too, with like her father was in the audience. And to still do some of those jokes and not do an audible because, maybe an older Ryan Nesson would have or a younger Ryan Nesson might have pulled back and be like, I still want to be friends with this person. But I think he still wanted to go fearless to show everybody I don't give a fuck if this chick's dad in the room. I'll do a blowjob joke.
And Audrey was like, I don't care if my dad's here. I'll tag it with a description about how cum tastes.
Gnarly.
I mean, that's what makes the show great. Yeah, his next battle is June 10th against Jay Light. In the belly room, two of the big stories of this season. I know they're both gunning for the championship. They're both gunning for the LA title. We got, I would say, a cast of characters of about 8 in LA that have a real shot at kind of winning this thing based on how many battles they have booked. And those are definitely 2 of them. I thought Audrey was really solid. She's just so likable, man.
Yeah.
It's really hard to kind of beat her in the room. Because the crowd really wants to root for her. And you understand why. And she writes really good jokes on top of it. Have you seen Audrey before that?
No, that's the first time I've seen her.
What'd you think?
Yeah, phenomenal. Great. Very similar to Kate Hammer in the sense it's very likeable and stuff like that, in the room. She'll be great. She'll smash it. Definitely want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, number 2 battles week, we tore through those. We might even be able to get out of here having Jack do the entire episode. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. The number 1 battle of the week comes to us from the new leader in the American East Division. New York and Chicago have been slugging it out all year. New York takes a 1-point lead over Chicago at the 10-week mark with the number 1 battle of the week. It's the second number 1 of the season for Joshua Lampley. I think he's the first guy to post 2 number 1s this season. I could be wrong about that. And this is Josh going up against Dayton Bissett. Here it is.
We appreciate you making time to be here tonight, Dayton. I know it's almost water park season. Doesn't Dayton look like the kid who ODs on opioids on the lazy river?
It is almost water park season.
It really is.
Joshua's nose looks like God molded it perfectly to sniff a girl's neck when they hug.
It fits right in there. Dayton is from Oklahoma, which makes him an Oklahomo. He told me that everyone in his life thinks he's gay. So here in America, where democracy reigns supreme, brother, it sounds like the people have spoken. You are gay. USA! U.S. gay! U.S. gay!
Joshua does not like to drink alone, but he does love when a girl leaves their drink alone.
Thank you, Elf on the prescription shelf. Dayton looks like Justin Bieber if he got raped a little less. Found the line.
I'm sorry. All my jokes make Joshua into some kind of rapist. But Joshua is not a rapist. He's a bro, which stands for binge rapes often.
Love that. Dayton, you kiss your ferret with that mouth? Come on. Dayton has a goth girlfriend, which honestly, bro, respect. But it is obvious that Dayton doesn't listen to his goth girlfriend because he hasn't killed himself yet.
Did you hear that, girlfriend? Joshua looks like he says gay out loud every time he types it in a porno.
Dayton is such a skinny little guy. He's actually my girlfriend's goal weight. Dayton is so thin, I bet he drinks every beer with 2 hands.
I'm glad Joshua could take time out of his busy schedule taking notes during White Lotus. Okay, fuck. Let's show. Where is it? Oh no. Okay. Before this roast, let's have a little insight. Joshua, he messaged me on Instagram to exchange info, things we could like roast each other on. I sent him my list, and then he sent me this. I'm the best. I have muscles. I have a hot girlfriend. I eat healthy. I have an education. I have money, and I have a small dick. I'm gay, and I'm a rapist.
So true. I did ask Dayton for some facts as well. He just sent me a bunch of facts about Triceratops. So, that's all we got.
All right. Number one battle this week, New York. By the way, how quickly I forgot James Regal back-to-back number ones last month. And I'm like, I think this is the first guy to have two in the entire season. Regal did it back-to-back. So my apologies to James Regal. But Josh Lampley, his second number one battle of the season. Dayton Bissett, his 2025 RBL Weekly debut. Number one when I went to bed, number one when I woke up. I feel like probably rightfully so. Thoughts?
My favourite part is when both participants tried to convince us that the other one had a girlfriend. I really enjoyed that part. But these guys were great. I think we heard better roasts tonight, but I don't think there was one that was more entertaining than that. You could just tell the guys were having fun. They were loving it. And it just goes to show you that you don't need to be saying like the darkest, like most horrible things that you can conjure up in your mind. Like go out there, have fun, like, and look what can happen. Number one for a reason there. I've got no qualms about that. I'd go one, Manchester number two, and then I'll shut the fuck up about Manchester.
Yeah, I did feel like the American version of Manchester. It was like just two friends who were just kind of going back and forth, wouldn't try to really hurt each other, just kind of showing their skills. Dude, Lampley, I've said it before on the podcast, and I was wrong. Yeah, of course he's a monster out there, but I just, when I've been watching these for so long, it's like you can see somebody's character and like see their playing style. And Lampley now feels like a quarterback that you drafted early, maybe reached for because of his looks and like in his build and like, you know, like athletically, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Killed the combine.
Yeah, killed the combine. A bully, you know what I mean? Was killing the cafeteria. Knows a lot of black guys. You're just like, that guy's gonna be good. But, you know, and obviously he's playing with a good offensive line. He's got good receivers, so he's winning a lot, right? Because New York is just, there's a lot of great players out there. But I didn't know if Josh was a great player with the rest of those guys. Now seeing him, it feels like he knows the playbook, you know, like the back of his hand. He can do things to help his opponent. Like I saw some things he was doing with Dayton to kind of help. He's not just looking to win or be like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
He's always looking to elevate the performance and elevate his opponent. I mean, he's always getting he's like a warm-up comic sometimes too. He'll get the crowd going.
Yeah, he's a dream opponent.
Yeah. So it's Josh Lampley, like James Regal. They are. You can see why they're probably not neck and neck. James is a little further ahead for me, but Lampley, I mean, is coming up, man. And I could see him win an MVP this year.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, we're going to have to make some decisions on the All-Star game soon. And Lampley, I would say, at this point, might be the leader for New York. I mean, 2 number one battles.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's a few names there. Andrew Manning is, of course, always there.
You can never write him out. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, and we got some more time before we have to decide, but Lampley's having a really, really good year. My biggest takeaway from this week, the biggest miss, the Bay Area forgetting to submit a battle. First time all season, they had a Paige Wesley battle on deck that I have not seen. Boy, I feel like this week would have been a nice one to go in there and try to grab some of those points.
Oh yeah. You're back at number one. Yeah.
Yeah. So spoiler, you'll probably be seeing Paige next week on the countdown. But because I felt like this was a week that didn't have a clear like this is like an epic all-time battle. It had a bunch that were kind of like there. If you have one of those and you didn't get a chance to send it in this week, it's tough.
Yeah, you're kicking yourself there.
Yeah, for sure. But deserving number one for New York. Just to address something real quick, they went to a different venue for, I believe, a week or two. As far as I know, they are back at Grove 34 full time now. So that was, if anybody was like, what is this Chuck E. Cheese that they are battling at? What is going on here? That's what that was. So shout out to New York, taking over first in the American East Division. Let's take a look at the standings, actually, before we get out of here. In the West, LA opens up a pretty big lead on the Bay Area. Like I say, the Bay missing a golden opportunity this week. LA opening up a 12.5-point lead over the Bay. Austin now only 4.5 behind the Bay for second after picking up a few points this week. In the East, this race is going to go down the entire season to the wire. I have a feeling this could be the division winner and the wild card. New York 46-45 over Chicago. Atlanta with 11. And then internationally, not a lot of movement. Barcelona picks up 1. They extend their lead over Scotland. Manchester picks up 2, extends their lead over Tokyo. Jack Trainer, we're probably not going to get to have you on the pod again before the end of the season.
Nope.
Do you want to go ahead and make some predictions?
Ryan Cullen wins the whole thing.
Wow.
Well, you guys got to get into the playoffs.
Via wild card.
Okay.
Massive upset.
I love it. Lord knows that is he's capable. Cullen, to me, sometime we'll have to have the RBL Mount Rushmore discussion.
Aye.
I think Cullen, you could make a real strong argument that he's on there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even the battles he gets beat at, he doesn't care about any of that because it's like 9 times out of 10 the battle of the night.
You know a fun stat that I've never talked about because it exposes me as an even bigger roast battle nerd than people already know that I am. I took some of the people who have the most appearances on the podcast and I saw how many battles they've had that didn't make the podcast.
Yeah.
Cullen has had 15 battles that could be submitted for the podcast, and 14 of them have ranked.
Wow. That's like plus minus.
Yeah, over 90%. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these other guys you're seeing more, like Cullen and Regal are like light years ahead of everybody else in that. Every single time they get on that stage, they're in their rankings.
You got to give the committee that for the end of the year for the awards. Like they have to know that stat. That stat is insane, actually.
Yeah,
because that's like QBR rating. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's I was blown away when I saw. I'm like 14 out of 15. You know what I mean?
It's insane.
Yeah, it's
like sabermetrics is like Barker metrics now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where it's the statistical revolution. It's exactly what people want in comedy: more statistics.
Yeah.
There's gonna be the backlash, like when they started doing the advanced baseball stuff, and all the old heads were like, "What happened to batting average?" And they get all fucking pissed.
Too many carrot top, carrot bottom jokes, guys. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, you're Yeah. But that to me highlights how valuable he is. So I like that prediction. You guys got to pick up the pace around him though. Scotland needs more out of everybody who's not Ryan Cullen or Jack Trainer. This is my call to you guys. Kate Hammer, Ryan Baxter, Alvin Bang.
Yeah, he's been good.
Lucha DS.
Matt McDonald as well. He's on the come up. He'll be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of talent out there. So let's get it together.
My favorite was Ryan Cullen. His visit here was talking about roast battle of a Hall of Fame member Connor McSpadden.
Oh God!
When he heard Connor's name, he said he's like Connor McSpadden. Ugh, that's like a Irish generated name. That's not. He was affronted. He was like actively pissed.
Yeah, a random Irish name generator.
Yeah, he's like a Connor name. That's not a real name. It was just like it just upset him
aggressively Irish. Yeah. Well, listen, this was this was so fun. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for jumping in. Guys. Thanks for coming out for the week. For battling, for getting blackout drunk the night after the battles. I'm sorry I missed that. For everything that you do for the league and for the sport, it is very much appreciated, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having us, man. What an experience. I'll be back. Don't worry. Aye, definitely.
All right,
quality.
I can't wait. Next time we got to go to some kind of sports event. I know that's your big thing, so we'll make it happen.
And we need to get these guys out to Scotland as well.
Yes, for just $1 a day.
Yeah,
we'll just do a GoFundMe. I'll look like a black child, and then Pat will call me the N-word, and then we'll make some money.
Yeah, we are.
We haven't discussed this plan. There's some things we got to iron out. I didn't agree to at least half of that.
At least 3/5 of that.
Yeah, that's there it is. That's the episode for this week, week 10. Where can people find you, by the way?
Jack T Comedy on Instagram. Just search Jack Trainer. You'll find me on there. Doing the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. If anyone's in Edinburgh on the month of August, 9:50 at the Pleasance every day. Come check me out.
Every single day. Moses, where can they find us?
Listen, we're in Kansas City this Thursday, May 15th. We are also, there's a new Austin Roast Battle venue. It's kind of like the Clippers and the Lakers. There's just so much demand happening in Austin. They have a new club that they're going to be doing. It's going to be the Vulcan Comedy Club. It's going to be Labor Day weekend, May 25th. Kim Congdon's your host. Peyton Ruddy, Adam Lucky, and a secret judge is going to be there for that one. So don't miss out on that that Memorial Day weekend, that Sunday. But Kansas City this Thursday. And then, go to that new one in Vulcan. But you can find us at www.roastbattleleague.com.
The battles for that Austin one are completely insane. I'm so excited. And just to clarify, it would be like if the Clippers and Lakers teamed up to form one super team for league purposes. This is not like two different Austin. They are combining. And the rest of the West, I think the Bay Area, you should be terrified. LA too, but especially you, Bay Area. That's it for this week. We'll see you next time with more RBL Weekly.